Hey guys, I finally finished day 4, so as you can see, no more stamina left. And as you can see, this is day 4. And it was quite crazy, so you better lock in because I'm gonna give you a lot of information and there's gonna be a lot of stuff in this video. First of all, let me start with the PvP. I actually got into the top 100 in Arena. And the reason is because I went from like Platinum 1 to Diamond 1 in one day, or Platinum 2 to Diamond 1. And the reason is that I built Lily for PvP, and the meta right now is super, like, it's very stupid. It always used to be like speed in the first 1-2 weeks, so I'm gonna show you. The team I'm using is this one. In attack I switch Kraken with Grey. And the meta has always been speed when it comes to the first few weeks of the game. But now it's speed on the SSR. So basically, because they did this update, this change, that every time you rank up, you start up one of your character, they gain speed. Now we just need to... I made like Lily 5-star and I gave her a speed set. Now she has like 250 speed. And that's why I win all the match today. It's ridiculous. It's a very, very boring meta in my opinion. I hope it's gonna change soon. But yeah, because of that I won all the match. Now we have like 26 win, 4 loss. That was from the previous day. And now the defense is changing a little bit. The problem of defense is that a lot of time I switch my set during... Like when I'm playing, I switch the set for PvE. So maybe my Lily or my Marvel, they lose speed, and because of that, it could happen that people find me when I have no shell or no equipment on one of the character, and shit happens. But who cares? Like it's very boring. It's not important, and that's it. Now for the juicy stuff, we reach L2 with 3-star in Terrormaton, L2 with 1-star in DokiDoki, and Nightmare 3 with 3-star in Aurora. This is probably the best possible outcome I could hope for. Also, we have NicoNana L with 3-star. And this is... I'm just gonna show you very quick the team. Now, as you can see, both for Aurora and Terrormaton, we have Diting. And we're gonna talk about team and the build very, very soon, because that's the biggest change I had today. And also for NicoNana, obviously, there is Diting there. Now, it was under level, like not under level, it was like 5-star when I did the record. But I'm gonna show you some clip of with the damage updated. Now let's go very fast to the character, then we watch the shell, and then I'm gonna put the clip of all the 4 run, which is Terrormaton and Aurora in L2, and then we are going to have no wait, it was Terrormaton and DokiDoki in L. There's gonna be Aurora in Nightmare 3, and then it's gonna be NicoNana in L. Okay, I was confusing. So I didn't do any big change to the set of Lian, I think. So some people ask me about the bonus of the module in the comment, but it's always the same. Like attack bonus, crit damage, crit rate. This is the same for every DPS that I have. So Grey, attack bonus, crit damage, crit rate. And Diting, attack bonus, crit damage, crit rate. Now Diting, obviously I made him 6-star. As you can see, I finish the skill 1 and 3, so they're both level 5, and then I have the skill number 2 at level 3. I also found one more copy, so it's 4 dupe out of 5. And the reason why, it's because I actually just got one evolution lattice from ranking up to diamond, but before it's because I finished the evolution lattice, so I stopped. But now I'm gonna finish, I mean, not now, but probably tomorrow or the day after. In the next 2 days, I'm gonna finish the skill 2. Now, when it comes to his stat, now I decrease a little bit the crit rate, because he's gonna get, like, what? 50% from the skill 2. So I basically only need 40% here, because it's gonna be 40 plus 10 is gonna be 50, and then it's gonna be 100%. Of course, the more you have, the better, because it's gonna get converted into crit damage. But right now we still have, like, we don't have mythic module for the most part, so cannot go too crazy. And so for now it's 48 plus 10 is 58. It's already over 100 with the 50% bonus, and then I'm trying to work a little bit extra on the crit damage. Is 95% on top of the 150% standard. Now for the module, compared to the last video, I had to do some change. I basically switch out one of the battle wheel module for the battle wheel mask. And this is because I found another mythic rarity module with attack bonus. So of course I want to give him as much attack as possible. So now it's 50% attack bonus there. I switch the battle wheel here. And of course the sub bonus, I try to find crit rate and crit damage, but it's not like they're going that well. So this one only has crit rate, this only crit damage. This one was nice because he has both. And then for the sub bonus here, I don't really care that much. This one is a stupid amount of speed again. And attack bonus is nice, and then this one is attack bonus and crit damage, which is nice, obviously. Now, when it comes to the shell, we have Twilight Knight. I finally finished ascending him. I think in the previous video was not ascended, or maybe it was, I don't remember. Attack 10%, first passive skill, then we have crit damage 10%, and then Disorder Animus damage 7%, so basically, as you can imagine, I'm trying to build as much damage as possible. Then there is no big difference in... I actually think... Wait, I forgot to give him a shell. I think it's this one. Let me do some stuff while I'm recording. Let's see. So let's talk about this while I'm doing it. Basically, the problem that I noticed is that from the final beta, compared to the final beta now, we have a problem that speed is a mess. And speed is a mess. Did I save? Wait, I cannot do many things at the same time. Okay, I think I saved it. Let me see. Okay, we're gonna call it like that. And what I was saying is that it's a mess now, the speed, because every time you rank up a character, you give him 1 star, it's gonna also mess up the speed. And this is very bad because some characters have like a very high base speed, like Lily, for example. And because of that, it's very difficult to do the positioning. For example, sometimes Lily goes faster than my Heinrich or like Freya. And because of that, she buffed the DPS, then the DPF goes also faster than the debuff character. It's a super huge mess. And because of that, I had to basically make a copy of all the build that I have now. And then, as you can see, Lily has a very strong build. It's like everything is mythic, rarity, and outstanding. So she's the character with the most amount of speed in my team right now. And the problem is that I cannot have Lily going faster than my debuff character, like Dinah or Heinrich or Freya. So because of that, every time I have to farm a PvE, I actually have to give Lily's kit to either Heinrich or Freya, because as you can see, they still have the purple rarity shell. And that's just to balance the speed of everybody in the team. Dinah now is not in a bad spot, because even if the equipment is not fully upgraded, I actually have to finish Dinah's equipment. She has a fully ascended black flag, so she does get a huge amount of speed from that. But yeah, right now, man, I really hate this update that they made about the speed of the character. Then I made I made Lily 5-star, and that's just for PvP mostly. Oh, now I can actually make Dinah 5-star. Probably I will do that because I want to give her a little bit of extra speed. But yeah, now the priority are gonna be Dinah 5-star and then Messiah 5-star, and so I can finally start using for PvP. And that's it really for the equipment and that kind of stuff. As I mentioned, Lily has a little bit, I start to invest a little bit more in Lily, but still it's not end game stuff. Now, as you can tell, I started to farm a little bit NicoNana. Now, I don't really need all this stuff. The plan is that for the next 1-2 days, I will farm NicoNana as much as possible. I need to reach 10 copy of White Fang, which I only have, what? This is 5, 7, so I need another 3. This is why it's good to farm NicoNana, because then you can get a lot of extra stuff from recycling. And again, I need 10 copy of this character because I want to fully ascend him. Then I need 1 extra copy that needs to have 2 specific bonus that I'm looking for. And it's Fury, and then on the first slot, Onslaught. So as you can see, I didn't have any luck yet. I don't have any character like that. It needs to be at least 2 and 2. If it's 3 and 3, it's better, but it's not that important right now. And yeah, so 2 and 2, and the reason is because Diting, you're gonna see that Diting has a lot of damage in the clip that I'm gonna show you soon. But despite everything, like despite that, it's still not enough damage to go to progress in end game. And for this reason, I decided to build him double set again and go for Onslaught 8 pieces, and then Fury 8 pieces. Now, if you don't know about Fury, let me give you an example. This is what the Fury set does. So when you have 8 pieces, it's not only 10%, which is the same amount that now he gets from Battle Wheel, but also when Animus land a crit, the crit damage result from that hit is as an additional bonus of 12%. Now that's very huge because most of the time, especially if you use Lily, Diting crit a couple of times. One time with the skill 3 and one time with the skill 1. And that's gonna be a huge extra, like a huge amount of extra bonus. Even with just a 12%, because it's not only going to be a 12% applied for 2 times if you do the skill 3 2 times with the combo with Lily, but also because White Fang, which is going to be his next shell, is going to have much more damage than, is going to provide much more damage compared to the Twilight Knight. And why did it go back? Okay, and as you can see from the bonus here, he has a crit damage increase. So after the owner takes action, follow up on the main target dealing 2 hit of 100% damage on a critical hit, increase the owner Animus crit damage by 5% up to 10 stacks. So that's gonna be crazy because you're gonna do it 2 crit with the first skill 3, so you're gonna get 2 stack, and then you're gonna do it another 2 times if you pair him up with Lily, which is what I'm doing most of the time. and that's gonna boost his damage so freaking much. It's gonna be ridiculous. Right now we still have a very good combo with Twilight Knight, because Twilight Knight reduce by 60% the defense of the enemy. That only happen on the second target. While this one starts right away, I think, unless I'm wrong. But I think, you see here it's one, so it's after the first turn. And the other one is, it should be after, like right from the start. I could be wrong, I need to test this stuff, but I honestly don't remember, also because I didn't play the Diting in the final beta, but I'm quite sure the damage is gonna be more anyway, even if it doesn't happen on the first kill, which I think is still gonna happen. And that's the plan basically for the future. I'm not planning to farm DokiDoki and speed set too much. This because again, right now speed is a mess, and I don't want to mess up my equipment and the speed again, because then I would have to balance everything, and it's gonna cost me a lot of money. As you can see, I finished basically the money. And so yeah, again, I still want to focus on the DPS as usual, and then slowly fix the issue if some of the characters don't have enough defense and they die too fast. But right now they're doing a decent job. I actually noticed that I have a problem with Aurora, and the problem is that I reach Aurora Nightmare 3 so fast that I don't have Linglo. Every time I make my plan for the game, I always assume that I have Linglo because it's a free character, but I forgot that it's actually on day 7, and so it was a little bit difficult to farm Aurora, but still managed to do it. I already farmed all the all the pieces that I need for Fury, so I'm gonna put one here, and then I'm gonna put one here, and then one is the crit rate one, so I already got it, and he also has crit damage, which is very, very good. Then here, I'm gonna just give him a crit damage set from, what's the name? I forgot, my brain is not working, from Onslaught, and that's it really. I just need to keep farming the shell, and probably 1-2 days is gonna be enough to finish everything. And then I also have to, like, farm coin, because I have no coin, and that's gonna be expensive to make everything plus 15. Now I think we can move on to the clip. So this is the team that I use for Terrormaton L2. You will notice that I played in manual, and the reason is that the first time, look, the problem with Diting is that you always focus first the ad on the left, but if you do it manual once, like you beat the stage, and then when you put continuous battle, you can select the main target, like the boss to be the main target. So in that case, you should focus on the main body, even if it doesn't have the passive on that. I actually didn't try. I can do L1 auto without, like, even if you focus on the main, like on the left ad, it's not going to be a problem for the run. Here for L2, it was a problem, and I think my plan should work. I still didn't have time to try, but ideally, if on continuous battle I tell him to attack the main body, he should always attack the main body, regardless of the passive. Now, Lian is now the sub DPS. I had to take out Grey because Lian is going to do sub DPS damage. Lily is there to buff Diting, so of course is to make sure that it does as much damage as possible. Dinah for the debuff, and Freya for everything that Freya does, because she does a little bit of everything. So, as you can see, I was playing manual, and you start with the skill 3 of Freya because you want to put the debuff for the defense, then also skill 3 for Dinah, again for the debuff. And also you can note that not all the debuff went in with the skill 3 of Dinah. So for example, the left ad has one more debuff compared to the boss, but it's still not that important because Diting is gonna do a crazy amount of damage anyway. So as you can see, he focused the left ad, but I decided to go instead for the main body. Then we have the damage from Lian, then buff for Freya. Now you need to make sure that your character can tank at least one hit, because otherwise your run is gonna get messed up. This is also why it's gonna be important to make Dinah 5-star in my case. And now you have the real damage from Diting. Look at this. That was ridiculous. And then we have Lian with the skill 2, and that's it for the run. And of course it was 39 seconds, so it goes for 3-star. This is the idea behind the Terrormaton team. For L1 I can do it auto again because the left ad is not a problem. This one, they have a little bit too much damage, so if you don't use Marvel you want to kill the boss very fast so that it doesn't attack a second time, because otherwise it's very likely that one of your characters is gonna die and then the run fail. So this is instead the team used for L2 in DokiDoki. This is the same as before, really. I didn't do any big change. The only change compared to Nightmare is that Grey is now stronger, and then for Imoka I always use the equipment that I use on Lian. So this is actually kind of like an old clip that I recorded, and you could see because Diting was still level 45 with 5-star. And really the idea behind this team is always the same. You just go for CC, buff from Grey, plus the debuff, then Imoka skill 3 spam. And that's it. It just changed that she didn't kill the target, so she did a little bit less damage, and the wave number 1 takes a little bit longer to clear. But that actually is not bad, it's actually good, because I have more time to recharge the cooldown of everybody else in the team, like Marvel and Kraken especially. And yeah, that's nothing too crazy. If she does the skill 3 again in this stage, it's good for you, because at that point she's gonna go for the kill and then you're gonna reset the cooldown. I don't remember honestly if that's what happened here. As you can see, I think, did Kraken use the skill 3 again here? Probably yes. I honestly do not remember. Let's see. Yeah, this was a waste of the skill 3. But it is what it is. So Grey went for the kill. I think by now Rilmoga should have the skill 3 up again. Yes. Let's see. Okay, again, it was not enough damage, so it was not even that good of a run, honestly. Like, everything went wrong. Like, now Kraken did the CC on the single character and he died instead of getting the CC. So despite that, I still managed to beat L2. So you can tell, like, the team is good even when it's bad, if that makes sense. Now, a little bit of damage from the skill 2 of Rilmoka, even if it was nothing crazy. Grey is very good in this stage, like, I think people underestimate how strong Grey can be if you build him up properly as DPS, sub DPS really. And also remember, he has skill 2 and skill 3 max at this point. So a little bit of debuff from Freya, which is gonna help because now Rilmoka did the skill 3. Now there's only one monster left, and at that point it's kinda easy, because even if someone dies, as long as it's not Rilmoka, which is still full HP, it's you're not gonna lose, it's quite impossible. Then Marvel, push back, a little bit of damage, and that's it really. I think he's gonna go for the kill. Yes, that's it really for the... It's a little bit boring this one, but it is what it is. As long as it works, I'm not gonna complain. Okay, so this is the Aurora Nightmare 3 run. I think, I don't remember actually at the moment, I think I did this one also manual, because I was testing some team. But after that, maybe I can put the screenshot when I edit the video. But after that, I did 10 run with this same team, same setup, with auto mode, and I win 6 out of 10. So it was not good, not bad. It was enough to get the gear that I wanted from Aurora Nightmare 3. So I'm satisfied with the result. Of course, it's not the best possible outcome, but it is what it is. So Diting main DPS, Lily, it's to support Diting obviously, Dyna debuff, Freya for everything, and Heinrich to strip the immunity of the boss. It's actually a little bit loud, let me go down with the volume. So, as you can see, we start with skill 3 of Heinrich. Of course I had to set up all the speed of the character properly, because at first it was a mess. Then Dyna goes for the debuff, and again is not full debuff that she can apply. So even in that case, still enough damage from Diting. Then we have the debuff from Freya, skill 2 from Lily on Diting, and then we start with the fun. So skill 3, and then skill 1 after the 3 because of the effect of the skill of Diting. Then we continue with a bunch of skill 2, nothing too crazy. And this is where things get funny, because you have skill 3 of Lily, which reset the cooldown on Diting. A bunch of people dies, it is what it is. And then skill 3 again, which was amazing. Did you see the damage with that stuff? It was crazy, crazy. And yeah, this I was checking, because I actually needed Fury equipment, so I was checking what I dropped. But yeah, that's the team. That's why Diting is so good. It's very, very good. The damage is crazy, but still is not enough really for what's coming in the future days, when we unlock more stuff and higher difficulty. And so that's why, despite everything I said, despite everything you see in the video, I still need to improve his damage. Now let's move on to the last one, which is NicoNana. So this is NicoNana L, as you can see from the corner on the left. And again, the team is Diting, Lily, Freya, and Dyna. So let's go very, very fast. And I think this was not the best run I did. I did like 29 seconds once. This one was 31 seconds, but still, it's... who cares? It's still good. So, debuff from both Freya and Dyna. And then, I mean, by now you know how it works. Also notice in all this video, battle will never triggered once. Like 20%, my ass, it never works. It's terrible. Skill 3, reset, and that's it. Boom. And yeah, that's why I built Diting. I'm very happy about it. If you have Rosa, Rosa can do something similar. It's not gonna be the same as Diting because she's gonna do multiple hit multiple times, so she's gonna attack more than Diting. But yeah, that's the idea behind this kind of characters. You just want to nuke the boss, and that's it. So let's go back to the main video. Now we are back here. I hope the run were useful. Before we finish the video, I wanna talk very quick, or at least as quick as possible, on the logic why I choose the set that I choose, the shell that I choose for Diting. And there are a bunch of things that you need to consider. First of all, in case you didn't play the final beta, moving from outstanding rarity to mythic rarity for the module and moving from epic rarity to mythic rarity for the shell, it's a huge difference when it comes to the cost. It's very, very freaking expensive, and especially if you're like me and you do it very early in the game, like day 4, day 5, and you don't have enough money. As you can see, I already finished the money, and I think I kind of managed them as well as possible, as good as possible so far, but you reach a point where like mythic rarity, it's really start to drain your wallet. I mean, not your real wallet, but in the game, unless you actually want to spend money to buy coin, but it's not that much stuff you can do even for that. And basically, what's gonna happen is that you should focus on only one set at first, and again, I always tell you DPS is very important, but even then you want to make a set that you can share between many characters. And now when it comes to the shell, White Fang is a very easy choice, because not only is very good for DPS, actually it's like an upgraded version of Twilight Knight, but also is the only available DPS shell that you get from NicoNana. So for these two reasons, I would say you cannot go wrong if you decide to go for White Fang. Of course, there are other combo, but overall I would say to make things simple for most people, especially if you don't know much about the game, you can just go for White Fang when it comes to shell for your DPS, and then when it comes to shell for literally everything else, my favorite, like generic shell, my favorite is Jackal Guard, because it's basically the improved version, as you can read, of Black Flag. Now, of course, you can do so many crazy combo. Codex is very good, you can do a lot of crazy stuff. And then also Revelation is very good on DPS, you can do a lot of crazy stuff with that also. But to keep things simple, especially at first, I would say just go for the DPS and go for White Fang. Now, you could say, okay, why you didn't go for Battle Wheel as a second set? Like, you already have the module for Battle Wheel that's gonna save up money. Because, as you can see from the matrix available, it doesn't have Battle Wheel. Like, White Fang doesn't have Battle Wheel. So, because of that, I had to make a decision. So, first of all, first set is either gonna be 8 or 12. To be 12, you need to be able to farm somewhat consistently L3, but ideally L4. And even then, the thing is, you could build 12, like a matrix of 12, but to do the real endgame set, you also need to be able to farm Inferno, because then you're gonna need, where is it? Let me show you very, very quick, for example. So, as you can see, you start to drop triple matrix set when you reach L3, but in L3 you still drop also outstanding. So, between the amount of set, because you get new one when you reach this difficulty, and the fact that you can still drop outstanding rarity, L3 is kind of like a bad place to farm. You want to farm in L4, because this is where you drop only mythic rarity, and everything is with, like, everything can be with the triple matrix. Now, the problem is that, first of all, L4, it's gonna take a while before we can reach it, and also for the triple set, you're gonna need Inferno. So Inferno is gonna take a longest time, and it's not even worth considering for now. For this reason, I already consider that the first set is only gonna have 8, like the bonus of +8 in the matrix. So this one has 25%. The other alternative from stuff that I can actually drop from Terrormaton is Kinai, which is a very, very good set, but the problem is that Kinai jump from 6 to 12. There is no 8. So in this case, it's not worth it for me. I'd rather go for 8-8 instead of 6-8. Just, as you can see, it doesn't make sense to go for this. I'm gonna lose damage. So for this reason, this is why the first set is gonna be still Onslaught until I reach very, very end game. And then when it comes to the second set, I had a bunch of options. Now, again, this is not available, Battle Wheel, because it's not on the shell. One thing that is available is Harvest, that you can farm in DokiDoki, and again, it doesn't necessarily need to be mythic, you can still farm outstanding rarity. It's still very good at this point in the game, but Harvest do have like a bonus at 8. At this point, the thing is, Diting, I need Diting to do as much damage as possible, and while this is gonna be very useful for the first shot, the first skill tree that is gonna do, because when attacking, if the target HP is about 50% additional usually ignore 30% of their defense. It's very good, but the problem is that Diting does the highest amount of damage usually in the second attack, because whatever, if you're using Lily or if you're using Twilight Knight, it's when Twilight Knight triggers and it does the debuff. Even if you don't have Twilight Knight, it's still probably gonna be stronger the second attack, because you still have a bunch of debuff, because you don't want the boss obviously to run out of debuff before you do it. And you also have an extra bunch of buff, maybe from Freya, maybe from Lily. So ideally you want to be always strong, not only in the first attack, and for this reason I decided to go for Fury, because Fury is the only set available in Nightmare Aurora. Then when you move up to Inferno you have more options, but they're not for damage. I think Aurora maybe, okay, yeah, at L2 she unlock also this set, which is Momentum, but Momentum is a first set. As you can see, is the same as the other one. It goes from 6 to 12, so it's not something that you can use as a second set. And ideally you could build like Momentum and Fury in the same character, but this is when you farm L2 Aurora, first of all you have the same problem as before. It's not a good place to farm. L3 is also not a good place to farm. Ideally you want to go L4. When you go L4, we are already talking a very end game. So for all these reasons I decided to go for Fury. Is the best choice when it comes to like the point where we are right now in the game. And also because again it's as I mentioned before in the first part of the video, it's like crit damage. It's going to increase the crit damage every time you land a crit, so you land a lot of crit with Diting, because ideally it's gonna have over 100% crit rate. And this is the logic why. Also because this set is gonna be very good for Rilmoka. Now you might say, okay, but Rilmoka doesn't have 100% crit rate. No, but she always, like, I only use Rilmoka with Grey, so she always gonna get 30% crit rate buff from Grey. Then don't look at the percentage now, because she still have a shitty shell. When she's gonna have like the mythic shell plus all that equipment, she's gonna have way higher crit rate, and at that point, even if she has 40, it's gonna be 40 plus 10 is gonna be 50, and then you're gonna get another 30% from Grey. That's already 80%. Probably she's gonna have more anyway, so it's not gonna be a problem. It's a set that I can also use to farm DokiDoki at higher difficulty eventually, using it on Rilmoka. And if I want, it's also a set that I could give to Masaya. Of course, it's gonna work a little bit less, because then Masaya is not gonna reach 100% crit rate, but ideally it's still gonna have a very good crit rate. And again, we have the resource that we have. I'm not gonna be able to build for now I'm not going to be able to build more than one mythic outstanding module set plus the mythic rarity shell, and so we have to do what we can, and as always you have to adapt to your situation in the game. Now with that, I think we talk really about everything that was there to talk about. I hope it was a useful video. Again, you don't have to copy what I do, like you have to adapt based on your situation. If you don't have Diting, it's not a problem. You can do the same stuff with Victor, and if you got lucky enough to get Rosa, as I tell most people, try to get both Rilmoka and Rosa in your account if possible. If you have Rosa, you can just go for Rosa. Of course, it's gonna take longer because it's definitely more difficult to max out skill 1 and or skill 3 of Rosa. I would say skill 1 first, because she's SSR, but yeah, you can definitely do the same, if not actually better, with Rosa. So that's it for the video. Again, hope it was useful. Thank you very much for watching until the end. If it was useful, remember also to subscribe and like the video, and that's it. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye, have a great day.